Okay, everybody, this is gonna be more random thoughts. As you can see, I've got a lot and I had to write them down to keep track. Random thoughts, things on my mind, all of that. So the first is, once you get to a certain level of awareness, and I'm speaking mainly for myself, but if you can relate, comment below, send me an eye emoji. But if you can relate to this, I feel like I can't enjoy people like I once did before. I feel like we're always going through different kinds of awakenings, but once you have a certain level of awareness, it's hard to really enjoy people because you see and feel more truth than the majority do. So it's like you are constantly seeing the different layers or feeling and sensing the different layers of people. You sense the insecurities, you sense the good, you sense the bad, you sense the negativity, you sense all of that. And when you can see and sense all of that, you can't just, it's hard to just kind of hang out with, so to speak, without kind of numbing it. So one thing I've also noticed more so as I become more aware and as I get older, I cannot stand small talk. I can't stand talking to just fill space. I can't stand just continuous chatter for no reason. I need and desire more substance. I want to talk when I have something to say. Now, of course, time and place, right? So like there are times where maybe it's like a family gathering and, you know, you're not always talking about something super deep, but it's still talking about like maybe something interesting, like a common interest, or maybe like vibing to songs. Like there's something going on rather than just talking to fill space. Because I feel like when people talk to fill space, that often does come from maybe a sense of insecurity or something like that, because when you are in more of a silence, I feel like you hear more truth, or you have to face you face the thoughts that are coming into your mind when there's more of a silence. So I feel like sometimes those people that don't want to hear their inner thoughts talk to fill silence. I'm just not really a fan of that, especially the more aware, because you can sense when that's going on when you're an aware person. So like even when it comes to things that are fun to me, I still want it to be meaningful on some level. To me at least, like the fun things I do that I view as fun, they still have a level of meaning to me and myself. For example, my hobby of like collecting millennial nostalgia and whatnot right now, that's meaningful to me, but it's fun. It's not a super, well, in some level it's got depth behind the scenes of it all when you get really to it. But it's not like, for example, talking about why bad things happen to good people. Like that's a deep conversation that's more heavy. I'm saying it's more of a lighthearted deepness to it, if that makes sense. I just don't like surface level stuff. I don't like having to pretend. I don't like having to fake that I care about certain things that I don't care about. Now, because I'm a millennial, I feel like we've all kind of, a good majority of us have learned how to do that, because we were around when a lot of us at least had to do more customer service type based jobs, whether it was retail, answering phones, or, you know, before everything was on the internet to make appointments, we had to make phone calls to make appointments, things like that. So there's a level of us being able to do these things, a good majority, but the more aware I get and the more older I get, I don't like faking it. I also notice, again, these are my random thoughts, so you can choose to tune in, or if you can relate, let me know. But I've noticed that like I don't really enjoy social settings like that anymore. To me, but it depends on what it is. Like to me, I never really enjoyed clubs. To me, those were always more low vibrational. Like I would always, when I look back and I reflect, I was faking enjoying a lot of those things. Yes, there might have been fun moments, but overall, I did not enjoy clubs back in the day. I did not enjoy that kind of stuff. But a concert, for example, is a different thing. And I think concerts tend to carry higher frequencies when it comes to music and whatnot, especially depending upon the artist. So I say all that to say, like, it depends on the social setting on whether or not I have a capacity to partake or not at this stage that I'm in. And that's not just like clubs, but it's also maybe just even things like festivals or things like that. It really just depends on what it is and what the gathering is for. Random thought. I don't understand why this whole Megan Thee Stallion thing and her getting cheated on is a big deal. I think a lot of people just need to learn and understand that sometimes people just like the aesthetic of you. And I also can't say when people are like, it's all men. See, it is not all men. You got to learn discernment. You got to notice the signs. You know what I mean? Like, but some people just like the aesthetic of you. I don't know if you guys can hear my daughter in the other room, but the one of the other ones that's been on my mind is about Michael Jackson and how I absolutely love that he is getting the flowers long deserved because he lived such a hard life. But I also sit back and I think sometimes, where were y'all then? When those lies were coming out, and I was a child during the 90s allegations, so I'm not necessarily speaking on that, although some of this may apply to some of y'all, but more so like when those documentaries were coming out, that all got debunked for lies. What was it? Surviving Neverland or whatever it was called. Where were y'all then? Y'all were just, you so easily fall for, I don't know if it's because it's like whenever everybody online is hopping on a certain bandwagon or whatever it might be, you don't use your discernment, you just fall for it. Where were y'all then? And I do understand that, okay, it's cool that when more information comes out, you change your mind. I think that's beautiful. But I say all that to say, like, why does it always take trends for people to see? And deep down, I know the answer to that because most people are not aware, but it's just frustrating. That's just a random thought I have. It's just frustrating, and I've been dealing with that frustration, mixed feelings about it, because I'm also glad, Michael's getting what he deserves in terms of his flowers and acknowledgement and people celebrating him. But still, it's like, where were we all then? It took everybody else like, oh, they love Michael, so yeah, I guess I'm gonna love Michael now too. And the other thing too is like Michael, he was evaluated and did not show the signs of a P, you know what I'm saying, in relation to those allegations. He did have age regression. Those are very different things. And I do hope that there are certain psychics online that do get exposed for being fraud because they tried to paint Michael in a certain light that was not true. And I think some of y'all can probably catch on to who I'm talking about with that if you've heard me talk about certain people in the past. Because when somebody has been in the industry, they may have been fed information regarding people like Diddy and such, but they're not actually tapped into their abilities. So, and I think that's why this certain person was able to expose things about Diddy, but was very wrong about Michael. The last thing I want to talk about on a completely different note is, again, the concept of micro-cheating. So some examples of micro-cheating to me are flirting with people on social media when especially when you know your partner doesn't like it, or continuously making friends with the big air quotes with people that you're attracted to when you're supposed to be in a relationship. You know, deep down, we know why those things are happening. And those are forms of micro cheating. And if your partner has told you, and these are just examples that I keep seeing happen with people, if your partner's told you that it makes them uncomfortable and you keep doing it, to me, that is a form of cheating. Because you have to ask yourself, yeah, your partner might be insecure, but also why do you continue to feed into that insecurity when they have expressed it hurts them? Unless you do not respect them, unless you don't actually love them the way that you say you do. Because when you respect someone, you don't keep doing something that they have told you hurts them. And then you can choose from there to continue to work on yourself. Like, why do you feel like you have to keep doing these micro cheating behaviors? What is it about you that needs some sort of something fulfilled in that manner? But also trying to understand the partner, and hopefully they're working on themselves too, so that you can come together. But if you don't, then you don't. You know what I mean? Maybe you both need something else as well. But yeah, I'll just leave it there because it's getting long. Bye.